In this tutorial, you'll learn the basic features of the Raspberry Pi and how to hook up the Raspberry Pis that are part of the Palm Beach State College Library's Makerspace. In addition, you'll learn how to get online with the Raspberry Pi, how to mount and unmount a flash drive, how to get started using the Python developers environment, and finally how to shut down the Raspberry Pi. On the front end of the Raspberry Pi, there is a slot for the micro SD card that holds the Pi's operating system, downloaded packages, and whatever files users create. Next to the slot that holds the micro SD card are two LEDs. The red light stays on as long as the Pi receives power, and the green light blinks to indicate software activity. On the right side of the Raspberry Pi are three ports: a micro USB port for power, a port for the HDMI cable, which is how you connect the monitor, and a port for audio-video. On the back end of the Raspberry Pi are four USB ports. This is where you'll connect the mouse and the keyboard, leaving two spare ports can be used to plug in either a flash drive or some other device. Next to the USB ports is an Ethernet port, which you will not need to use because these Raspberry Pis come with Wi-Fi. Remove the white lid. Notice the row of pins. This is a Gpio header. The Gpio header has 40 general-purpose input-output pins, and this is how external circuits are connected to the Pi. This is also how hats are attached to the Raspberry Pi. The acronym HAT stands for Hardware Attached on Top. If you're a C programming student, you will not need to make use of these pins. Replace the white lid. Finally, notice there is no on or off switch. The Raspberry Pi boots up as soon as it receives power. You always connect the power last. This is the official Raspberry Pi power supply. Your power supply might look a little different. This is the HDMI cable that you'll use to connect the Raspberry Pi to the monitor. First, connect the mouse and the keyboard. Next, connect the HDMI cable. And finally, connect the power supply. If the boot process is successful, you'll see a color square appear on the monitor. Then a scrolling list of operating system processes, then a blank for a few seconds, and finally the desktop. The SSID for the college's internet is PA. To go online, simply click on the browser icon on the left side of the menu bar. Always save all the files you create to a flash drive or email them to yourself. To mount a flash drive, plug it into one of the spare USB ports. A dialog box will appear asking you if you wish to open the drive in the File Manager. You can access your flash drive in the Media subdirectory. To unmount the flash drive, go to the triangle on the far right side of the menu bar and select the flash drive. You'll see a message indicating that it's safe to remove it. To begin programming in Python, go to the Raspberry Pi icon, select the Programming menu, and then the Python 3 option. This opens up the Python shell. You can enter Python statements interactively at the prompt. Enter the Python statement, print, parenthesis, single quotation mark, hello world, exclamation point, single quotation mark, close parenthesis, and the statement is executed immediately. You can also execute code from files. Let's create a new file. Enter the same print statement as you did interactively. And then save the file. Remember to save the file to your flash drive, not to the Raspberry Pi in the library. Call this file first_file. And notice that it will be saved with the .py suffix. To execute the code, go to Run and select F, and Hello World is printed out again. Printed out again. Exit the Python shell. To shut the Raspberry Pi down, go to the Raspberry Pi icon and select Shutdown.